Want to Be an Assessor?
Hello, I am Mei Beth, one of your co-hosts of So You Want to Be an Assessor. And we are back trying to do another podcast and would love to hear from you. Let me introduce you to, or let her introduce herself. She's totally capable of that.
Hi, I am Kaitlyn Reeder. I am your other co-host of So You Want to Be an Assessor, back with you this week, where I don't know about you, but I kind of want to take a little bit of a break. We've been going pretty heavy into actual laboratory processes and getting a little technical. So I'm going to walk us back just a hot second and kind of talk about the unique phenomenon that we as traveling assessors get to have, which is we get to interact with a bunch of people. And some of those people we actually like. And I would so far as to call them friends. And I would call me a friend, but like I definitely call them a friend.
Yes.
That seems.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I think that's one of the perks of being an assessor is getting to see not only tons of laboratories, but lots of different people. And yes, there are quite a few that I consider friends. That we go and we'll have dinner or something before or after assessments and things. And so it's a great way to meet people or make friends, and they have different experiences.
Absolutely. I know.
Sorry, I'm getting over this cold. I promise. I really, really hope.
Oh, I'm sorry. That way sucks. But yeah, I got an email earlier this week, last week, one of these weeks. And it was from a quality manager who I would consider a friend. With a book recommendation. Now, we have been emailing back and forth book recommendations since I was at their lab last year. So I think this is like our third book exchange. Because as it turns out, we have very similar taste in books.
Cool. See, and you don't find that out by only talking lab stuff at a lab. So just because we're assessors doesn't mean that we only stick to the topics.
Yeah.
I do that more, but and that's just my personal comfort level, but it doesn't mean that assessors aren't people too.
Very, very true. So I got some new book recommendations, which was really awesome. And it kind of started down this track of thinking for me about some of our interactions that we get to have. I know I've also started sending like garden pictures to a few individuals who I've met who like we connected about, a one-off sentence that I said about gardening. And then we got to have a full conversation. And that was really quite nice because they sent me seeds. So like I have like an actual seed exchange with like this lab, and they're growing so well, except for the ones that got eaten by deer. So we have been chatting about ways to avoid the deer eating all of the crops, because that is no fun and a universal problem.
Yeah, that's a problem here too. Cool. So you're growing thing. I know that I have heard lots of great things about all your gardening, and that it is going gangbusters up there. So you're in Michigan with not a long growing season, but an excellent growing season.
Yes, that is very true. We have a very intense growing season, I would say, in that like in Texas, you can usually get 2 seasons. You can get your spring and you can get your fall, with breaks in the summer when it is the most hot, and in the winter where it is colder. Unless you're really interested in some colder weather crops, which I have come to find out are big things up here, big staples. So like radishes, spinach, beets, all of those pretty cold tolerant as long as you get the right seed. So things I'm learning. But yeah, we just finished like our last zucchini, which we were getting like 12 zucchini every day for 2 months. And we were having to give them away to all of our friends. It was honestly so much. And I ended up doing a lot of freezing of it. But as far as like our fresh stuff, we finally ate it all.
All right. Yeah, you.
Yeah. So I haven't had to buy a vegetable in so long, which is quite nice.
Wow. Wow, that is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Even with 2 growing seasons here in Texas, I'm not a grower. They're 2 killing seasons for me, unfortunately.
You had apples.
Okay, let's be honest. We had a tree out of the 3 that we had. A tree produced 14 apples. By the time we got to where we could eat the apples, they were big enough to actually harvest. We had 1. I'm not sure that qualifies as we had apples or grown apples. Sorry.
I suppose that's fair. We have a surprise apple.
Oh.
So we have been clearing out our back hill because it had just been overgrown with weeds when we bought it. And so in the process of clearing it out, we found an apple tree that had apples on it. It's a crab apple, so they're the small kind of like strawberry ones. But surprise apples, so that's exciting.
Oh wow.
Yeah, maybe now that we know about it, we'll be able to do something with it.
Yeah, make it a happy apple tree.
Yeah, exactly. But I have digressed from garden pictures with a quality manager because we're both into gardening. It's been really fun because this individual is in California, which is the only place I can grow more like things, like number of things, than Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's been really fun. And another friend, again, friends everywhere. I had a quality manager reach out to me and say they were coming to Austin and like, what are some things that I should do while I'm there? And one of them was, hey, since when we were still there, I was like, let's go out.
Yeah. Well, and I think that it's a true thing about travel that checking with people, with locals, is a great way to see someplace because you don't necessarily just want to see the tourist traps. I mean, museums are cool, but they're also something that you definitely want to enjoy, but also see other things that aren't necessarily on the tourist list, but things that locals see and want to do. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
We've also had a couple of quality managers reach out to us with that sort of suggestion or idea, and we've met them for meals, and so it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I much more prefer that interaction type and continued interaction type to the opposite. You know, where You don't even want to go back to the laboratory because you had such a unpleasant time with the people working there. Not even like with the assessment itself, but with the actual personalities.
Isn't it cool that people are unique? And so there's going to be some that we get along with great, and there are some that we won't get along with great. Um, it's a fantastic thing that we can get to meet people on both sides of that spectrum. And there are some that are just kind of in the middle, business only and whatever. So yeah, there are definitely a few people that a lot of times it's a personality clash. Just it's rarely a I don't believe in your political stance, and so therefore I don't want to talk to you. But it's a good thing to be aware of as an assessor, because we do deal with people, good, bad, and otherwise, and so we have to be prepared for that.
Yes, very true. And I know I've told this story a handful of times, but it really stuck with me because I think it was like my second time ever doing an audit. I was still an intern with you and your husband for Shepherd Technical, and we had all hands on deck. It was a rather large lab, and so it was, I think, a team of 4. If I include myself, a team of 4. You, Mr. Shepherd, Mr. Hintz, and myself. So yeah, 4. Okay, because I don't think Zach was there yet. No, I don't think so.
Or sometimes 5th. Yes.
Right. Sometimes he'll come along when it's all hands on deck, but I think he was still in school at the time, so I don't think.
Well, if it was your early second one, then he wouldn't have been there yet.
Right. And so at this laboratory, I was shadowing. I think I shadowed you for some quality. I shadowed Mr. Hintz for some micro, and Mr. Shepherd for some of the more technical stuff that went way over my head at the time. But I've gotten better at it.
I know. It's kind of like there are times, and we all get specialties, right? And so there are times when I feel like, oh, it's not just going over my head. I'm sticking my head up in there. I'm understanding a little bit of it now, and the different things. But then there's also the other side where I'm going, I know nothing. Why am I here? Am I providing any value? But that's, a discussion for another day. Yeah. We all go through those ups and downs, but yes, that we all have specialties. So you were, I think, if I remember this story, you were trailing Mr. Hintz at this time. And this was a laboratory that had a lot of fresh out of college, I guess.
Mm-hmm. My age at the analysts. Time. We were all like 21-ish, 22-ish.
Yeah.
Young lab.
Young people. Now, not everybody in the lab was young, but there were a lot of analysts that were young. And chances are, if the manager level at the lab was a little bit younger, it might not have been an issue. But I remember that we learned we needed to send Kaitlyn with a chaperone.
Yes.
Yeah, it just was part of the deal. And as females, that can be an issue. It's not one we like. I don't like it when anything is based just on gender, but anyway, so yes, there are always cool and different things you get to deal with during assessment.
Yes, I was shadowing Mr. Hintz, and I told him I spent a year doing BOD analysis because I had in college, and I was that person at the laboratory. And so he let me take the lead for BOD, and I got to ask the questions, which was really fun because it was something I knew about and could actually have opinions and ideas and stuff on. Um, I was talking to the younger analysts and doing the interview with parental figure nearby until he got pulled away, which was not great for me because
A
then
relatively normal thing, but yeah.
yeah, which was not great for the young intern because then suddenly all of the analysts were chatting me up and hitting on me, and we were way too close to the chloroform for my comfort. The funniest part of that story is when Mr. Hintz walked back in, it just went just scattered. To this day, he's like, gosh, I can't leave you alone. So whenever I am with him, he's always teasing me about it.
Yes, yes. When we travel with each other, we tease each other all the time about stories that we have had. I don't even think I was there for it. You may have been there for it, but one of the northern assessments that we did was, and there were ducks, that flew and swam around there. It was up north, and the ducks were migrating. I guess they do that, and so something ran into the car. It was a duck, and so anytime we're up north, somebody is on duck watch. So we always are teasing each other, duck, duck, there's a duck, in case they want to take off and ram the car. It was a crazy thing.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a much bigger migrating species than the butterflies you usually get in Texas.
True.
Butterfly hits the car. I'm just sorry, sad for you, butterfly, but the duck.
Yeah. When a duck hits the car, it's like, dang, is that going to be damage on the car? Oh,
rental companies need to warn people.
Exactly. So, have you heard the new rental car stories? The rental car companies are taking full body pictures of cars when you leave, a lot of times. And so that when you come back, if there is any mark on the car that wasn't there before, they can charge you for it.
My goodness.
And so renting cars has become more of a challenge. I don't know that that's the right word, but it's I haven't personally had that problem, but it's coming, I think. Because there's normal wear and tear on cars when you go and you park it within the lines and with enough space, and somebody opens their door and it hits your door. You get a little ding. I don't want to be charged $300 for that from a rental company because I use their car as a car. But anyway.
Yeah, I've often wondered how that is going to change and how they track some of those stuff, because I've gotten hit with some bogus claims that I can almost always refute because I will take pictures of the car before I get in it, and then when I get it back. So at least I try very hard to be a good person. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I just cite their policy back at them.
Well, Yeah, it's like it should just be a policy. And yes, if I'm in an accident, I suppose I should need to pay. But if I'm just using the car as a car, not so much.
Yeah.
So, well, this has been a step back from our detailed technical stuff, but also parts of what happens to us when we're assessors,
Mhm.
or that there's things that are, real life that happen because we're traveling a lot. Uh, so thanks for the step back. I think
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, I just thought I'd touch on more of the human parts. But as always, if you liked this, be sure to like and subscribe to our page, and wherever social media handles may find you. If you would like to be notified anytime we upload, please hit the bell notification in the doobly doob.
That place
I
over
am
there.
debating about posting a secret show in the comments. It'll be audio only because it's one that we recorded without video. But it has been edited, so check
Okay.
the description below for a little secret show.
Ooh, how exciting.
Well, anyway,
Okay.
thank you guys for hanging out with us. If you have any questions or things you would like us to touch on, email, comment. As I said, we like to hear back from you all, whether we've done your assessment and we become friends, or whether you enjoy this show and want us to talk about something specific.
Right. Right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.